Yeah, perfect. After 2 weeks, I'm again coming live, and this time in a different day, like not in Saturday or Friday, but weekdays, a little late night, and you know, my guest is also in a different part of uh, the world. So for his timing and my timing should match, and then I thought this is the best timing to do. uh, and that's the reason I'm just coming a little late here. But yeah, before that, if you are new to my channel, please do not forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. And this time, luckily, I got a permission from LinkedIn to go live. So this streaming is going live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and of course in Facebook. I'm not active on Facebook, but still I have that opportunity to stream live, so I'm just living there. But yeah, LinkedIn Live is a new thing for me. So if you guys are coming from LinkedIn, please don't forget to say hi. And as you know, today's topic is basically, it's all about no code platform. And I did a video quite a long time back that when I am uh, when I'm designing something from with Figma, and then without writing a code, I can actually publish that in App Store like Android and iOS. So to do that, I used a platform called Bravo Studio, and fortunately, today I got Pedro from Bravo team itself to talk about that, and he will also share a lot of insights how Bravo works and what you can build with Bravo and what are the different use cases. And please don't forget to ask question to Pedro. So without any further delay, what I'm going to do is I'll invite Pedro uh, here and let him do the introduction for himself. So let me invite Pedro. Um, Welcome, Pedro, to my live streaming, and thank you for joining. So, stage is yours. Please introduce
Thank
yourself
you.
and let us know our audience that uh, who you are, what Bravo team is doing, and what other things are going on.
Thank you, Rakesh. First of all, again, it's an honor to connect with you here. We've had quite a few conversations since the first time we got to know about you. You did some video on Bravo, especially in that discovery of yours on being able to create mobile applications from a Figma design, no? So just to give you a little bit of context and background, we are a team of 12 right now. We're all based in Barcelona, in Spain, and very enthusiastic team with a very clear vision on what we want to really build, based on what you just said, basically, which is simply that to be able to have designers go all the way in creating fully native applications, both in iOS and Android, without using code, right? Or no code, as many people like to define this space right now. So the dream is it's big because there is obviously a lot of players trying to do and gain a spot in that space. There is a lot of tools out there that, from websites to mobile applications, but we always really thought and keep thinking that there's still a huge opportunity when it comes to creating digital solutions in terms of mobile applications at first, but tools that are designed for designers. We are aware of the multiple tools that are available today, all having really great stuff, but always, we believe, missing one very important aspect, and is that of design itself.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to do. We want to really break those constraints when building a digital solution, on not being limited to what the solution will look like. And that's what we really, really want to focus at very first. It is a very big project, because it's not just design after all. You want to add functionalities, you want to add complexity, and it's never enough. And we know we will never be able to cater at all times to all the needs out there, because these are also evolving, right? And even we have discussed several times, you and I, on projects that you work on yourself. We always have the need for one specific feature that it is probably in our roadmap, but when is it going to be available? So that's where we're currently on at the moment, which is to polish as much as possible that of making a design, a native app in an instant, which is possible right now. By using Bravo Studio and bringing the design from Figma, which we love, and a lot of designers love as well. But we really want to open the runway to these designers and go absolutely all the way without having to depend on technical knowledge in terms of having to code, right? And that's where the complexity comes in. Where is the limit in this sense, no? So that's more or less an overview of where we are right now and what we're trying to achieve and offer our users, which without them, it would be really difficult to continue forward, because we really need to listen up to our audience and our users on what is really needed in their projects. Because we have various types of users today. We can go more into details. Maybe you have specific questions related to that precisely, but we have from very important designers using the tool to just makers or an entrepreneur that has an idea and wants to make it real and doesn't have the means or the knowledge to do it in the traditional way, because that would mean you need a lot of money, first of all. You need time, you need a team, as you said. And we want to really break through those problems that they might have, and give them the opportunity to just needing a designer or inviting them to give it a go themselves. Just like myself, and I tell you many times, I'm not a designer. I don't have a technical background, but I've been able to create solutions that are actually published in the app stores and being used for small businesses. They're not at all complex applications, but they're doing the job. And I think that's where we need to be realistic at this. It has to look good, it can look good, and it does the job. It solves a problem. And I think that's why we always have to keep in mind.
Right. So when you talk about that, simple application. So someone was trying to get some comment here that is it a kind of a when Bravo published that app in Android or iOS Studio, means iOS App Store. Is it a hybrid app or it is a native app? What exactly is publishing there?
Yeah. So it is a fully native application for both iOS and Android. So though you don't access the code itself, the actual bundle packages that you get once you're finished with your app and you're ready to go for publication, you will be getting the app files for both iOS App Store in this case and for Google Play Store. Just like we also mentioned it in our website, the actual iOS app is actual Swift and Kotlin for Android.
Right. So that means whatever app is getting published, it's not a hybrid app. So I just wanted to make sure also that it's not, because we know that this may be a hybrid app and the experience may not be that great. But what you're saying that what Bravo is helping to publish, that it's basically a completely native app for Android, iOS both. So
that's correct.
Yeah, that's really good to know and great to know. So the next question is that what kind of apps generally is a good to build in this Bravo platform? Means what kind of app Bravo supports, or what kind of what nature of business or what kind of apps you can encourage to build?
So there is a huge spectrum. Definitely, you cannot build the next Facebook with Bravo Studio, not today at least. But we have seen various cases from small, like I said, small businesses having restaurants or even bakeries, which is actually I'm proud to have helped in this case with a simple content information of the menu of the restaurant, an order form integrating with other great tools like Typeform, which allows you at the same time to integrate the form with an actual checkout with Stripe. So that could be applicable to pretty much any online store today that you want to have it in a mobile phone and in a native application. That's possible to be done today. We have even one of the most recent one is an actual film festival that is actually be happening in between October and November this year, creating a full content with list of different cinemas, showing what's going to be shown in those cinemas, timings, being able to book your ticket at the same time. Pretty much anything, I would say, from city guides even, or just almost anything with the help always with third-party tools. That is what really brings the complexity and functionalities to any app you build in Bravo. At the end of the day, I would say that unless it's a one-time application used for a specific event, you will always need to add some sort of functionality, right? So this is where Bravo is really advanced, and we have actually built a fundamental that the design is being built and created in Figma, but the complexity that you want to add to the app, which will be that feature or features that you want to add to your application, actually you don't need to be coding or building those components. There is hundreds of amazing tools out there, like from Google Sheets to Airtable to Typeform, like we used very often, and our users as well, because you're able to collect information and bring it on board into your app with real-time integration. So all the data is moving back and forth. It's all about thinking not what I can build. You should think, what problem do I want to solve? And once you answer that question, you actually are able to identify which tools, connecting them together and using Bravo, that is going to tell you which app you can build with Bravo. There is, of course, features lineup that we're adding to our platform, like, for example, CRUD operations, being able to not just get information into the app, but also being able to post into your database, whichever it is that you're using, or any CRM that has an API integration as a REST API. That's where you got to focus on what problem do I want to solve, and what tools that are available today can help me solve that problem. Once you join them together, and most tools today are really investing in having a proper and well-documented API, these are the ones that are going to tell you which apps you can build. I can't hear you. I think you might be mute right now.
Okay.
There you go.
Yes. Can you hear me now? Yeah. So there is a question from Akhil from LinkedIn. He asked a very valid question. Thank you, Akhil, for asking this question. That can we roll out updates on? So this is a question he asked. So can we roll out updates on this app, or like how the updates will happen? Is it something people need to go to App Store, update it, or is it a real-time update? How's that?
So that's a really good question, and I think some part of it is what I was mentioning right now. So there is two things in terms of updates. One is when you actually have your application published and users can use your application, whichever is the functionality in terms of data is going to be integrated through the REST API and done in Bravo. All the data, whether it's a get information from a CRM, and whether you update that CRM or you update that database, is going to reflect instantly in your application. Then we have a specific features or Bravo tags, like what we like to call them, is that you can set up a pull to refresh capability in whichever screen you decide. Maybe that one that is holding or hosting data that you wanted to update constantly. So you could have the pull to refresh like we have in any normal app for that data to be updated. The other side of updates that you're asking, or I believe he's asking in this case, it would be, what if I make a change to my mobile application? If you make a change to the design of your app, for example, in Figma, in Bravo Studio, you actually have a button called Update, which once your application is published in the app stores and you click Update on that specific application in Bravo, it will update the design, pulling it from Figma, and straight away being reflected in the app that is actually published. So in this case, you wouldn't have to repackage the app and send an update to the app stores. You wouldn't need to do that. You would need to send a new version of the app if you make a change in terms of API integrations or complexity. But for most cases, you will just need to update on Bravo, which makes it really useful again and fast, not having to depend again on someone technical to do that job for you.
So that means once it is pushed to the app store, then after that user will get some kind of a notifications, or in that app store they will get to know that, hey, my app means this app is ready for the updates, or how that basically that process works. Is it a similar way the
So
native app works?
it's the same thing. Yeah, so it's the same thing. If you actually have to actually repackage the app files and having to push them to the stores, straight away the app will give you a notification, or your app store will give a notification there is a new version of that specific app. You click update like any normal application. When it comes to minor things that you update in Bravo, once you shut the app and you reopen the app, the updates will be already reflected in your application without having to do a full update of the application itself.
Okay, cool.
That
So
comes really that sorry to cut you, but that reminds me, that comes really handy when you're working. Let's say you are actually building the app for someone and is asking you for changes, which happens a lot. It's really fast to show these changes live. Once you request, you just make the change, push update, and they can see the change. So it's really useful even through prototyping ideas, basically.
Okay. So in some cases, what we have seen that, as you mentioned, the data is coming from Google Sheet or coming from Airtable. So is there any other database you are integrating right now, or how, if somebody's database is there in a different data platform, then how they are going to integrate that?
Yeah, so we have used a lot Airtable, and our users are using a lot Airtable or Google Sheets, basically because it is really easy to work with them in terms of the platform. The API that they're providing is super well documented and fairly easy to use, even when someone like myself do not have technical knowledge on how an API works, besides the upper layer, right? But basically, to answer what can be integrated, the answer is very straightforward. Is anything that has a REST API can be integrated. We have to check then the quality of the API and how updated it is, etc., etc. But anything with a REST API can be integrated.
Cool. So we as a designer, when we see all these jargons like REST API integration, we get little sit back. There are a lot of big things are happening. There are a lot of big things.
Absolutely.
So when I first experiment with Bravo Studio, so I did at least 4 or 5 times practice, and then I actually went live and did that. So, and there are a lot of terminologies which, like Bravo tags and all, are really not very easy for a designer to understand. So you have some certain areas for learning those, but are you planning for extensive learning section for designers that quickly they can adopt that, or how you are thinking to help designers to adopt this particular platform?
Yeah, so we're still studying how our users are using the platform. We're still listening the learning curve for our different types of users, and we're trying to serve as much of them, of the different personas that are actually using the platform, as possible. the main goal is to make it as easy as possible for everyone. That's the
Yeah.
main goal, because we even have users that haven't used Figma and started using Figma because they learned about Bravo, right? So for those, we are making sure we always make available what we call a Bravo block, which is basically a template which you can duplicate the Figma file and customize it according to the needs of your app or project or idea that you have in mind. That's what I actually personally use. I never designed from scratch, although I could now, but I had not used Figma before either. So I just take this Bravo block, customize it, make the API integration for whichever data I want to use for my app, and use it as it is. But definitely the help center that we have, we're actually using Notion HQ. We love that platform to actually document all the learning material, and we're trying to update that as much as possible as we add new features. Some people prefer to have videos. Some people referred, oh, I learned about you because I watched the video that Rakesh did, or design course, or any basically. So we're trying to, as much as possible, do video content, and we want to really encourage to do this more. We actually got approached by various users that are actually creating tutorials themselves, because now the community that Bravo is building in Spectrum, in this case, is building up. That people are really helpful. They have projects themselves. A lot participated in the latest challenge that we launched. So yes, we're not perfect just yet in the documentation, but it's a positive things in the sense that we're just been adding more and more features at the moment, and there's a few big releases coming up very soon in terms of features that people were waiting for. So the learning curve will really depend for now on the type of user that you are, whether you are an expert in Figma, whether you're a very technical person that understand the API and all these type of things, and need to learn the other side. As we're focusing a lot, I would say, in designers, we have to push more in explaining and doing the learning in terms of the technical capabilities on what they can do. Because, for instance, they may have been using Figma as well as Airtable, but never thought of connecting them until now with Bravo. But I say Airtable, like it could be, there's another tool called StackBy, which is a similar tool to Airtable, but with different capabilities as well, being able to integrate with data from Google Analytics or your YouTube channel, and that can be fetched and populated right away. So that also has a great API integration. We're looking at working with them as well very closely. So it's trying to be as parallel as possible and being able to serve different profiles at the same time. Those that have a very strong design background, and those that have a very technical background. But I'm really sure, as well as the rest of the team, that designers are getting more exposed to more technical requirements, and I'm sure the future lies just there. Designers being able to deliver finished products all the way without having to depend almost on technical teams.
So there is one question from Mahed. I think if I understand the question correct, that let's say we have done development inside Figma, means we have done the design in Figma, then we build that through a Bravo app, and after a certain time, can we hand off this to Android developer or iOS developers so that they can start working on top of it? So if I understand correctly, man, if I'm not sure, I'll just throw this question, you know, on screen. I think he's asking for that. Can we pass resume development to the native developer that works with Android Studio?
Yeah, if I understand well, what Mahdi is asking, if we can do a proper handoff or documentation for then the developers produce the app in the traditional programming way. No, we're not at the moment providing documentation for them to then start developing the application. We're really focusing on not having to depend on that. And I always compare it to how website websites and building websites have evolved. Before, you were definitely programming everything from scratch. Then you had the WordPress, then you had whichever other platform, and then you have Webflow. Yes, you can go really in depth with what you can do with Webflow, but someone with not or very limited or non-technical knowledge at all can do amazing websites without having to program anything. And I think the same is going to happen, and it's happening with mobile application. There is other tools out there to build mobile applications. I still believe that if someone wants to obviously build from scratch, then they can use any other tool that can give you some documentation on that you can hand off to developers. But again, how much time do you have and how much money do you have to support that time and that technical team? So it really depends and comes down to that. It's them to decide on that. Is my app idea worth spending 6 months of design plus handoff plus development, or up to 1 year even, and worth, without launching, $50K or $100,000? If you have them, is it worth? Or can I check which tool can be enough to provide an MVP that will tell me, hey, this is something users want, and I'm ready to invest the 50 or the 100K.
Right.
Maybe you don't need to do that investment in time or money, and you can use it. You can create it with tools like Bravo or any other. If Bravo doesn't meet those requirements just yet, maybe it doesn't require an app, and it is meant to be a website. I think people have to, and I always suggest to really answer what problem am I trying to solve, and then with that answer, you can decide which tools can actually create the solution.
Correct. So I think so. This conversation is for a very short time, and as after 2 weeks, I'm coming into live, doing a live, and then this is an experiment for all my LinkedIn friends also, because this is the first time I got the LinkedIn live permission, and this is going on LinkedIn also, and most of the questions are coming from LinkedIn. Somebody asked that whether it's a Figma or XD, but just to give you a context, that we are talking about no code platform where we are talking with Bravo team. Pedro is from Bravo team, and Bravo is currently supporting Figma. So that means you are designing something in Figma, then you are pushing that file to Bravo Studio, and you are connecting with your database, and then you are publishing your app. So right now, I think Bravo is only supporting Figma, not XD, not Sketch. If I'm wrong, please, Pedro, correct me.
No, you're right, but we're exploring, as we have a lot of users that use those platforms, those tools, to support them as well. They are in our vision or roadmap, not immediate, but in the last couple of weeks, we have been exploring ways of doing that or accelerating that. But it's something that we're definitely considering and currently working on and evaluating. But I wouldn't be able to say, yes, it's going to happen, because I will have the tech team jumping on me. But it is something definitely that is being asked very often, and we're considering.
So what are the latest feature you have rolled out in last 2 months in Bravo? What are the things?
Quite a few. So most recently, of course, one of the initial ones was the first step of the CRUD operation is to be able to fetch information or data that comes from an external source into your design. And it's not just bringing the data, it's bringing the data, having the look that the designer or the maker wanted to look in their application. So one of the great advantages here is that with Bravo Studio, I like to say you design once and Bravo does the rest. So if you're going to be populating a list of, let's say, best restaurants in, I don't know, Bangalore or Barcelona, you would only first design the first list item. And then once that is designed, you connect it to your database, and Bravo is going to populate the entire list on its own without having to design one by one or each page. And I think you have experienced that. Recently, we also enabled the possibility of posting information. So not just retrieving information into the app from an external database, but having someone, a user, sending information from the mobile application into that same external database. That was at very first only possible to be done through a third-party tool like Typeform. That is an amazing tool to create forms. But recently we launched also native forms. So you can actually design fully customized forms in your mobile application and map those form fields that will send information to your external database or external tool through the API. Just last week, if I'm not mistaken, we also launched what we called binding actions. So native actions, like, for example, being able to share something from your app and have the native sharing dialog that comes up on your phone, on iOS or on Android, or sending an email or making a phone call. So bringing up the actual keypad with the phone preloaded. These are the native actions that actually you can actually bind. So if you actually have a design where in the same detail page of your application, for example, you have a phone number, an email, social media, again, you only design once and everything will be duplicated for all your list items or detail pages that you have in your mobile application. With that, happens that you have audio as a native action as well. So you could be building podcast applications or music player applications just of your own design and connecting to your own database. So one next thing that we will be releasing very soon is, and that I just got it as a teaser information, is the horizontal scrolling, which a lot of designers were asking. That's coming up really soon. We just have to test it a little bit more this week, and hopefully we can push it out next week. That's one of the things that will be coming out, as well as login, which of course a lot of users are asking, and I think yourself as well had asked us about that. So you would be able to do login with Firebase, for example, and have your user management in Firebase as well. So these are the main things coming up next in the next couple of weeks.
Okay. So those are really cool features and powerful features. I'm sure a lot of people will get benefited with that, and they can quickly build that MVP. Just to again, like when we started designing, and we think that okay, my whole app will get developed there, and so apart from these kind of functionality, Bravo is thinking to incorporate like video functionality or chat functionality. Is this in your pipeline, or how you're thinking? Because video is a very like a trending thing now. So is there any possibilities that Bravo Studio will support that in future, or is there any
absolutely
plan?
I mean, there is, of course, right now ways of incorporating video content in your mobile application, whether you embed videos from a URL that you have in a database that is going to be played in your application. But the most that we want to do is cover the essentials that a native application could offer you, and that is taking advantage of all the technology that a device can offer. Like, for example, the camera, being able to take a picture with your phone and pick it up from your camera roll, as well as videos and so on. That's coming too. These are obviously more complex. They're not coming tomorrow. They're not coming next week. But we're pushing to have as much possible those, what I like to call, essential features. It is possible. We know it. We have a lot of work done in the back end that needs implementation in the front end in our Bravo platform. But these are things that are going to be coming for sure.
Okay. So this is my request to Bravo team, and as well as all my friends who are watching that and who will watch later on, that I will definitely connect Bravo teams with a more details thing. But if you have any app idea, or if you want to build something as a designer, please share with me that you have made something like podcast app or some listing app or something. If you have any app idea, share with me. I will collaborate with Bravo team along with you as a designer and me as a designer. We'll collaborate and we'll actually do a live session with Bravo team to make that happen. This is my next thing which I would like to do with Bravo team, and of course Pedro will agree with me. I'm not sure if we will have a larger time, but I will request Pedro to have from your team, like product guy, means like Martha, or maybe um, some designers who can actually join us to do that in live, so that we will get more clarity that how exactly it works. But in this time, I don't want to do my design. I want to invite my friends to share at least a very basic app idea, so that we can quickly build that with Bravo, and we can actually do that. Right? Is it
I,
something will be interesting, Pedro?
I think it could be a very cool exercise to do to and I like what you said, not your design but someone else's idea. Let's make it happen, and I
Sure.
think Marta and the team would be happy to collaborate on that, and we can show how it could be done in a very short period of time. So I take on that, so count on us to be on that, and waiting to hear all the ideas. Absolutely.
Cool. And my last question is, how's the pricing point? Means like how much a designer need to pay, or how much a startups or a business needs to pay to Bravo team to publish the app, or how's the
Yeah.
pricing structure works?
So we have at the moment 3 plans. We have the free plan, which allows you to do pretty much everything that you need to fill your idea in a real device. Because it's important to highlight that when you actually bring one of your designs into Bravo, is that with Bravo Vision, which is our mobile app previewer, will show you the actual final product, the native application, whether you're using Android or iOS. Then we have 2 paid plans. One is Ole, Bravo Ole, and the other one is Bravissimo. Bravissimo is our top tier plan. Main differences in this case, main difference is that Bravissimo allows you to remove completely all the Bravo branding, and you can white label your application completely. So if you're a designer or an agency or a freelance that do apps for third parties as clients, they don't have to worry about branding. That Bravissimo plan is 49 euro per month, and Bravo Ole plan, which is our mid plan, enabling all the features that we have in the platform, but with the Bravo branding both in the app icon once published, very small, as well as the loading screens or the splash screen. That plan is 19 euro per month.
Okay, cool. So I think we almost exceed 10 minutes. My idea was for 30 minutes. Now 10 minutes gone. So it was really nice to hear from you, Pedro, and all the insights from Bravo team itself. And hopefully, very soon we will again connect and do some real hands-on with you and your team. And if you have any message for our designers, you can share. And after that, we will end this session. And thank you so much, everyone who has already joined with us. And please, Pedro, let me know if you have something to share.
Two things. One is thank you for inviting me here again. It's always lovely to connect with you, Rakesh. And secondly, but most important, is that for upcoming designers, experienced designers, and those interested in creating an application and are not designers but have a great idea, whichever it is, Bravo can really help you bringing this idea to life. So, like you offered, I'm offering myself also to help any of you to bring these ideas to reality, and any support that they need, they can count on us and our great community of Bravo Studio as well.
Yeah, thank you so much, Pedro, once again for joining me tonight. this is a very short notice. Again, I'm telling you, this is the first time experience over LinkedIn, as I started quite a long time back on YouTube Live, but this time I got opportunity to publish on LinkedIn, and this is an experiment also from my side. If something goes wrong, please feel free to reach out to me, and I will improve that for sure. And thank you once again, whoever joined with us. Thank you, Pedro, for joining me tonight. And have a great night and have a great day, Pedro. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye bye.